YouTube. Yep, we should be finally live on YouTube. I'm a little bit quiet right now because there are some other people that are walking nearby. It's gonna keep it toned down for a little bit. All right, we should be good. How's everyone doing today? I do apologize for the late start. If you're here live, if you're watching on the replay, it doesn't matter because you're watching it on demand at that point. But for those of you that were waiting for this live, my apologies. I misplaced part of my selfie stick, the part that holds the actual iPhone 12 Pro Max. That screws on the top of the selfie stick, and I finally found it in my car, and here we are. So my apologies for that. Things happen, right? And look who's here. The Queen is here. You're good. Hey, Queen. How are you doing? How was your weekend? I know you take most weekends off from moderating YouTube, other YouTube channels, and supporting other YouTube channels, but you're back. I still get all your tweets, Queen, and they're very interesting. Very interesting. It's a bunch of people that are heading towards the trail, so I'm just going to stand by for a second and wait for some people to walk on by. I'll show you folks. There are some clouds, but it's not as bad as yesterday, and I checked the weather report. It said there's a 0% chance of rain until later this evening, and then there's like a 10% or 7% chance. Wow, it's a lot of people just happen to be coming to this area right now to walk or to drive by, and I'm just trying to not interrupt anyone or get distracted. So, gonna wait a few more minutes here, and then we're gonna get right to it. Hope you're all having an amazing day. Thanks for putting the topic in the chat, Queen. It's going to be a pep talk type of a stream today. And I know that the way this modern world has become, you know, it's so hard to keep people's attention span to watch something like this, but it's crucial. It's crucial because everyone can benefit from this actual topic here. It's regarding happiness. Doesn't everybody want to be happy? Even the people that always act grumpy and, you know, are always complaining about this and that, right? You think these people are choosing to be grumpy? Well, maybe they are. But they're being grumpy, which is what I'm trying to say, because they're choosing to not be happy despite anything that happens in their life. That's where we're headed with this today. You know, my content is all about positive reinforcement. It's about, you know, bringing more positivity in your life, even when things aren't going your way or the chips are down, right? Even if you've been dealt a bad hand, I can share with you folks how to turn that around and how to not let the bad hands affect you. And one of the ways you can do that is by just expecting things to not always go your way. Most of the time, they're not going to go your way. They're not. All right. Let me just come back over here. Somebody's coming by me. Most of the time in life, things are not going to go your way. But most people don't know how to handle things when the chips are down, or you attempt to accomplish something in any aspect of your life and it doesn't go your way. Truth of the matter is, if you have a shitty attitude, even when the chips are down, it's not going to turn things around ever until you change your attitude into a positive one despite what happens. Because, if you have a crappy attitude, let's say you go on a date with someone, you have a crappy date, right? And you let that get to you, right? And then you try to go out there and meet someone else and you still have that crappy attitude, right? That person that you're trying to get a date with is not going to give you the chance because of your crappy attitude, even if you're the most attractive person in the world. This is what I try to tell people, is that when you keep a positive attitude and you remain happy no matter what happens in your life, eventually the tables will turn and you will win. You don't want to be stuck in that rut. I've talked about that before. Don't be stuck in a rut. Don't get stuck in a rut. Because here's the thing. You get stuck in a rut, and if you have a negative attitude because a few things in your life aren't going well, the people that already care about you, your friends and even your family, are not going to want to be around you as well because you have a shitty attitude. Who wants to be around anyone that has a shitty attitude? So if I can get you to understand that no one wants to be around people with a crappy attitude, maybe you'll smile and be happy no matter what happens, even if you don't win at certain things in your personal and professional life, right? If you kind of just chalk it up to what I was talking about yesterday on my walking stream, it is what it is, and say, hey, all right, next time it'll be better. It didn't work out with this person that I went on a date with. That's for example purposes. Or this business proposition or business partnership didn't work out, right? Yada, 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 right? Whatever it is. But you know what? There's always tomorrow. There's always next week. There's always next month. There's always another day, right? And if you just continue to be positive in everything that you encounter in life, even if it goes in a negative way, like I said, eventually you will get what you want. You will attract the right people in your life, and you'll snap out of that negativity, right? It's a little prelude to what I'm going to be discussing here today regarding happiness. And I'm going to wait just a few more minutes for some more people to join. And then we'll get right to it. Queen says, my weekend was peace and quiet. That's good to hear, Queen. That's excellent. That's wonderful. Look at the difference in the sky today. It's a lot clearer. And there's the sun over there. It's still like about 62, 63 degrees. And there are a few clouds over here, but they're going to burn off. Come over here for a second. It's a nice shot. You can see the other side in clarity right now. It's a lot more light, and there's the observation deck on the other side. Yeah, interestingly, there's a decent amount of people walking the trail right now. Not a whole lot, but it's steady. Anyway, I have some interesting things to talk about that'll tie in with the topic. I saw a couple of YouTube videos today, and one of them inspired me to do this topic. The other one was from a content creator I still follow every now and then. I'm still subscribed to him. That's Tim Pool. He put out an interesting clip today of one of his recent live streams Tim Pool streams nightly, I believe, at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific for a couple hours. And then he creates clips, pre-recorded clips of his live streams and puts them out as videos, which is cool because that way, you know, you don't have to sit there and watch a whole entire stream that has multiple aspects, especially if you're not on the same spectrum as Tim Pool is. Now, even though I'm not on the same spectrum as Tim Pool is or other people, sometimes those people talk about subjects that, you know, are on the same spectrum as how I feel. And in this case, he put out a topic that really made a lot of sense to me. I'll share more about that in a few. But anyway, so yeah, I've been, if you've been wondering, if you've been following me for a while and you've been wondering why I have not been putting out a whole lot of content lately besides these live streams, I've been really resting up. I've been trying to rest up my voice a little bit and, you know, really try to get more quality sleep earlier on, before midnight than after midnight. A lot of times us, sorry, I can't even talk. A lot of times us entrepreneurs will stay up past midnight thinking about the next day regarding our business. And, you know, we stay up just trying to figure out new ways to move the needle forward. But the best way to move the needle forward is to get a good night's sleep. And if you go to bed before midnight, you have better sleep than if you go to bed after midnight. My dad taught me that. He said, he told me this before he passed away. This was in my younger days, but my late father told me this growing up. Son, when you go to bed before midnight, every hour of sleep feels like it's 2 hours of sleep. If you go to bed after midnight, it's just the amount of time you sleep. Right? So if you go to bed before midnight and you sleep for like 6 hours, in essence, you're getting the same quality of sleep or close to it as if you were to sleep for 12 hours. Now, I know there are some of us at times, and I used to do this in my younger days a lot, where we would sleep for like 12 or 14 hours. Like we were so exhausted going to grammar school, playing sports at school, then playing Little League baseball and AYSO soccer. We were so exhausted that sometimes on a Saturday, we would sleep for like 12 to 15 hours. I did that quite a few times in my younger days. And while I could probably use 15 hours of sleep, I could probably still use that amount of sleep nowadays to catch up. I never do it. I don't have the time to do it. Check out the chat real quick. All right. Just going to wait another couple more minutes to see if anyone else comes in the chat. Right now, it's just been Queen Hill and Casey here and some other people that aren't chatting. I like when you put those eyes there, Queen. These eyes. Yeah. All right, let's just get right to it. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the San Francisco SF Bay Trail in Redwood City. This is episode number 157. And today's topic is happiness is a choice, not a destination. So choose to be happy. I remembered that off the top of my head, but thank you for sharing the topic in the chat. Regardless, Queen, I appreciate that. Whoa, look at how beautiful the sun looks right here. There's somebody coming, so I'm going to have to pan away in a second. Once again, the topic is happiness is a choice, not a destination. So choose to be happy. Folks, this is one of the simplest lessons to teach, but one of the hardest to upkeep, to maintain. How do I know that? I'm a human being. I've violated this principle many times. In my younger days more so, but even, in the past, or in the recent past, which is what I'm trying to say, over the last, 4 or 5 years that I've been a full-time YouTuber out here running my coaching business. Of course, I had to learn the YouTube system. It's different than real life. And once I learned the system, like I have, I've learned to find happiness in everything. Even when the chips are down, even when the needle is stuck or not moving forward, right? Regardless of any situation I encounter, nothing phases me at all anymore. I choose to be happy. I'm choosing to be happy about every single thing that happens, even if it's negative. I'm not going to go out there and instigate negativity. I'm not saying I haven't done it in the past. Sure, I reacted and overreacted to other people trying to trigger me online and offline, but I've learned to not even let that get to me online. And in my personal life, I figured that out a long time ago. Hey, Dion, how you doing, man? SIFUC, Asifu Smo, how you doing? Glad to see you here, bro. Everything going okay with you? I know you may not want to talk about some of the things you were starting to share behind the scenes. But if you have any questions, bro, or if you feel like sharing anything, feel free, and I'll be happy to help you out as best as possible, bro, or we can talk privately behind the scenes. Everything's better, huh? Let me guess, Dion. Issues with the female, huh? Bro, let me tell you how obvious it is when us guys are having problems with a woman that we're seeing. Especially if you're as intuitive as I am, Dion. Oh yeah. You can kind of give me a friendly nudge or let me know if I was on the right or in the right ballpark, brother. But glad to hear that you're doing better despite what you were going through, or however it ended up. Regardless of the outcome, It's nice to see you here. I'm going to give you a call soon. LOL. What's so funny, brother? That I was spot on because I've been through this shit? Because you and I are men, and just because we're men, we're not allowed to have feelings and emotions, right? Because if we have feelings and emotions and reach out for support to other men, we're sissies, right, Dion? No, we're not, bro. We're human just like women are. We have emotions too. Right now you're kind of feeling mine, right? Men need support too when we go through things like this. I've said it before, I'll say it again. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help men and women, but more so men need the help and support emotionally because men have nowhere to go for this stuff, right? And sometimes us men, when we're happy with a woman and it starts going sideways, right? We feel weird going to our guy friends for friends because we fear that our guy friends are going to say, oh, dude, you suck with women. You're a failure with women, right? No, we're not a failure with women. Things just happen to everybody, whether you're a man or a woman. And everyone needs support. And to me, the men I respect the most, the men that are real men, are the men that are not afraid to at times express themselves emotionally when they're going through something and to reach out to another brother like myself for that emotional support. You know, whenever you show up here, Dion, you kind of fire me up a little bit, man. You really fire me up. I was talking about you to the woman I've been seeing for a little over a month last night. And I was saying I think Dion's having some relationship issues. She's like, I hope everything's going to be okay for him. I really like that guy. I like his participation in your chats. I appreciate it, bro. I really do. I'm glad you do, bro. I'm glad you do. And what I appreciate about you, Dion, is that you've decided to do the right thing. You're not an internet troll. You could be sitting here trolling like many other people do, right? A lot of these trolls on YouTube, they have these same issues that you and I go through, right? And instead of addressing them and opening up about their emotions and feelings with other men for support when they go through things like this, they decide to troll other stronger men like you and me, bro. It's pretty pathetic, isn't it, huh? It's the truth, dude. I only speak of the truth. Like the topic of this stream states, happiness is a choice and not a destination. Happiness is a choice, not a destination. What do I mean by that? Well, before I share what I mean by that, let me share where I got this topic idea from. Like I mentioned earlier on the stream, I saw a couple videos today that really gave me the idea to do this topic. And I got this from Coach Corey Wayne, one of my favorite coaches on YouTube. Besides myself, because I love myself. Humbly speaking, that is. With lots of humility, right? But he's my favorite coach. And even coaches need coaches. Coaches watch other coaches. We support each other. Unknowingly, but we do. We learn from each other. That same guy that's been on this trail like the last couple days, I think he must live out here. Comes out here every day. Wears a mask when he passes by people and then he takes it off. Yeah, he's probably like in his 50s or so, mid-50s, he looks like. I got this topic from Coach Corey Wayne. It was, Coach Corey Wayne has created a bunch of quotes over the 10 plus years he's been doing YouTube videos to promote his business. And he recently put out a book. I I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's called Quotes, Ruminations, and something else. He put out he released a book with all of his quotes, and this was one of his quotes, and he was mentioning it at the beginning of the video he put out earlier today because it made sense with the topic. Happiness is a choice, not a destination. So what does that mean? What does happiness is a choice and not a destination mean? A lot of people think that in order to be happy, you have to go on this journey and accomplish everything and be perfect at everything and be rich, have the hottest girlfriend or boyfriend, right? Have great social status, have all that stuff, right? A lot of people think that that's what happiness is and where happiness stems from. And that, my friends, men and women, that, my friends, is the furthest thing from the truth. You know, I've been preaching this for years, trying to get this through to people. I know how difficult it is to get this through to people because a lot of people don't like personal development. They don't like coaches like me. They're so miserable that they don't want to own up to their mistakes and correct them. So when they come across someone like me, they project onto me, right? They make fun of me, right? Oh, that's stupid. What are you going to say, Eli? Happiness stems deep within? Yup, that's the answer. Happiness does stem deep within. And you morons out there that are making fun of this stuff do not love yourself deep within. That's the bottom line. It's the bottom freaking line. You don't love yourself deep within. Happiness stems deep within yourself, no matter what happens. Even if you're alone, right? Let's say you're single and you would prefer to be in a relationship with somebody or be married, right? A lot of people get depressed by that. A lot of people, base their happiness off of that. And the truth of the matter is, that's not where happiness comes from. Like I said, your happiness comes from deep within who you are, being happy with yourself, being happy when you're alone. If you can't be happy alone with yourself, sitting in your place by yourself, sometimes for days at a time, right? If you can't be happy being by yourself, there's no way in hell anyone else will ever bring happiness into your life because you can't identify what happiness is. It sure does. More specific, Dion, what were you saying it sure does to? Sorry, dude. I know you're responding on the fly because I'm live. We're live here, but let me know and I'll respond to you. I keep saying this, folks. A lot of the things I talk about on my channel here are a repeat. And I try to say them in different ways so it doesn't sound like the same old boring thing, which is what I'm trying to say. But the truth of the matter is repetition is the mother of skill. Coach Corey Wayne says that as well. And he's right, because I knew a lot before I started following Coach Corey Wayne about 5 years ago, maybe a little more than that. But I learned a lot more from him. And one thing I took from him is, he says, repetition is the mother of skill. Doing it over and over and over and over again, right? The way you get better at something is to continue doing it, right? Now, there are certain things that you don't need to do over and over and over again, such as ask the same girl out more than once, right? Because if she says no, it's no, right? And if you ask the same girl out over and over again, it's going to annoy her and possibly even get you a restraining order or get you arrested, right? It's going to make you insane. That's one of the few times where repetition is not good. I wanted to put that out there to be very clear. That's insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. But in this case, in order to learn how to identify these situations, or any situation in life, you got to keep doing it over and over again until you realize what's going on. And then you look at how you've been handling that particular situation 3 or 4 times and why you're failing 3 or 4 times. And then you're like, okay, well, what if I tweak it up a little bit, right? Then you tweak it up a little bit, and the 5th time it works, and it works from that point forward, right? You learned that because of repetition. And after you learn it because of repetition, I got to do a stream called Repetition is the Mother of Skill. That's a great title. I'm going to steal one of your phrases again, Coach Corey Wayne, because a lot of them are good. Fair use, Coach Corey Wayne. Anyway. So again, the more and more you do things, the more instinctual they become. I've gotten to the point of where I am so good at figuring out the type of people I want to associate with personally and professionally, and the type of people I don't want to associate with personally and professionally. I've gotten good at that. I've gotten so good at that, meaning that I'm very quick to decide. Now, a lot of you may say, well, you're quick to judge. Have you ever come across somebody and you just realize they're not a good fit in your life, whether it's for dating or business purposes or whatever, right, or friendship, right? And so you politely try to let them down because you pick up on that right away, especially if you're as intuitive as I am and instinctual as I am, because you've learned all these principles, right? There's a damn fly on my phone. It's still perched there. God dang it. Get off my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Fly, that's not a perching pad for you. No, that fly did not trigger me. I was just trying to be funny. It was a pathetic attempt of trying to humor you folks. Beautiful plane flying into San Carlos Airport. Give me a second here. Happiness sure does stem within, says Dion. Yeah, it does, bro. It absolutely does stem within. You are in control of your own journey, your own destiny, and your happiness, right? If you, for example, let's take YouTube for example. This is what a lot of people I've noticed have issues with out here on YouTube. Because I used to have the same issue until I figured it out. You know, a lot of people that are YouTubers like to go on other people's panels to try to, you know, support that other channel and to get a little more traction through their audience too, right? It's called cross promotion, right? Cross promoting, right? But a lot of these people continue to go on these platforms and it's not a happy place to be. They go on these platforms and then it becomes a drama shit show or something like that, right? And then these people fall into that vortex, right? The reason why I mention this example is because it's your choice to go on that panel. It's your choice to continue going on a panel like that. It's your choice to feed into negativity. It's your choice to be negative yourself. It's your choice to be unhappy. That's a nice plane. That's up close and personal there. I know this sounds really, really stupid, folks, and I know this sounds like I'm not really sharing any real information, but I actually am. And I know most of you understand this concept. You just don't apply it. That's why I talk about even the most basic topics that are considered boring, because maybe if you folks hear this once, twice, 3 or 4 times, you're going to be like, oh shit, he's right. I don't need to go on these drama platforms. I don't need to be a negative person. And these people, you can't blame the people that are running these panels, or you can't even blame them if they try to manipulate you to go on their panels, right? For entertainment, for drama entertainment, right? The only person you have to blame is yourself, because you're choosing to go on there. You're choosing to go on there and not be happy, instead of choosing to be happy. If you're a person like me that chooses to be happy, you're going to do everything you can to stay away from unhappy places or situations. That's why I wanted to share this example. It's not that I was trying to feed into drama. And even if it was perceived that way, I just don't care. You know why? Because I am happy within myself. I am happy with who I am. I am happy whether the chips are down, whether, my business is where it should be or not. I am a happy person deep within. And the reason why I will eventually reach all my goals that I want to reach, for example, purposes of my business, is because I'm continuing to be happy through the tough times. I'm continuing to be happy even when most other people would be complaining that they're not getting anywhere, right? Keeping it positive. It's not nearly as windy today. The wind's probably about 5 to 10 miles per hour. The sun is out. It's pretty clear for the most part. A few clouds on the other side, and the dark clouds have pretty much burned off. Nowadays we have such sophisticated weather satellites that it's pretty accurate. If it says 0% chance of rain, it's 0% chance of rain. So that's how I do my walks now, especially during the winter. I look to see if there's a patch of 0% chance of rain for like a 3-hour period. Now, there are times where it will rain for 2 or 3 or 4 days straight, right? And those are the times where I'll get my exercise in a different way. But I vow, through this rainy season, to do as many Walking with Purpose streams as I possibly can, I mean. If there are a few hours in the day where it's not raining during the rainier season, and we're getting there. It did come down pretty decent last night. So, yeah, I'm heading to the observation deck on the other side. And then I'm going to share, during the second part, on my way back, I'm going to talk about a video I saw on Tim Pool's channel from his Timcast live stream. He put out a clip of one of his recent streams. And it's regarding, the type of men that women are going for nowadays, and it makes perfect sense. And that's why, when I've encountered women like this in the past, and I started talking with them regarding anything to do with the modern dating world or feminism, it was an instant turnoff for them, because these women are seeking a certain type of man. And while these guys may not technically be considered beta males. In my book, they are. Because any guy that nothing wrong with supporting feminism in the way it was meant to be created, meaning equal rights for women as well as men, right? Equal rights, the right to work, the right to bear arms, the right to vote, equal pay for equal work, no discrimination, right? I'm all for women having those equal rights. That's what feminism was created. Now, the radical feminism is where the issue is at. And any man that supports radical feminism or is going to act more like a feminist just to get a date with a woman or date a woman, you're a beta male in my opinion. Beta man, beta man, beta man, beta man, beta man, beta man. Queen says LMAO. The fly wants to come along. Yeah, I've got a nice case on my iPhone 12 Pro Max, Queen. It's a spec clear case, and it protects the sides and the back. On the front, I have a screen protector, a clear screen protector. Like I mentioned at the end of my stream yesterday when American Dream popped on for a little bit, had to go back to my car to finish it because it was raining. I have a screen protector that further protects the screen from cracking, but the iPhone 12 Pro Max has Gorilla Glass 6. It's some of the toughest glass for a smartphone. So it's not impossible to break it, but it's very difficult to break it. And adding a screen protector on top of that, I mean, it's very unlikely that even if this is dropped below 13 feet, that it would have any damage on it. The case would get damaged first before the phone. And you know, most drops of your phones are less than 13 feet. But these spec clear cases, you know, protect your phone up to 13 feet, a 13-foot drop. Even on hard cement. I'm gonna hang out up here for a few minutes. Then I'm gonna head back down. We're gonna talk about what was being discussed on Tim Pool's video, or in Tim Pool's video. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I am wearing my jacket. I could probably have gotten away without wearing it. I'm a little bit warmer than I want to be, but I'm not overheating, so. Let me check out the chat here real quick. You know, folks, like I was saying a little bit ago, you know, your happiness stems deep within. You're in control of your happiness no matter what happens to you, no matter what other people do to you or try to do to you. That also includes being trolled on the internet. That's a pretty common thing nowadays. You know, I'm going to just mention this for example purposes. Like, I don't even feed into the trolls at all, or I don't even talk about them or mention them by name. Like, every so often, I will say what I'm going to say now. For example purposes, to show you folks how well I'm handling it so you can get to that level. Like, these people are still trolling me every single day. And maybe not every single day, but every few days or every so often, right? They're still watching my videos. They're still trying to get a reaction from me. And while they may consider this a reaction, it's really not. I'm just sharing with you folks as a lesson, as another one of my principles that I teach, that when you get to the point of truly being happy within yourself as this plane flies by, nothing will faze you, including what these people do, right? And like I said before, I'll say it again because repetition's a mother's skill. It's not easy getting to that level, but once you get there, you will feel such a huge weight come off your shoulders. You will just feel amazing. You will feel like you're on top of this world. Even if you haven't accomplished everything you've been trying to accomplish, you're just going to feel really good about yourself no matter what. Because you're choosing to feel that way. You can be a poor person living on the street under an overpass and choose to be happy. And to be honest with you, the interesting and funny thing, and I wouldn't say it's funny because I feel bad for those people, the homeless people. But the interesting thing is that those homeless people are much happier than most rich people out there, right? Money can't buy you happiness, can't buy you love, right? Right? It's all materialistic, right? Like I said at the beginning of the show, people base their happiness off of how successful they are, how much money they make, the type of clothes they wear, the type of body they have. And while all those things, you should do your best to take care of yourself, right? And it will help you get further ahead, right? Real happiness, real true happiness stems deep within before anything else. We've got some people coming this way, so I'm going to start coming down. They're probably going to come up to the observation deck. And by the way, before we get to the next part I want to talk about, I wanted to just let those of you know, including you, Dion, if you still happen to be around, or anyone else that hasn't, gotten the message over the last few days. I've been working on a major rebrand, and my pre-recorded content is moving elsewhere. And once I have that all situated, I will update you folks. And I believe I mentioned this yesterday. This channel here, I'm just going to be doing Walking with Purpose live streams for the meantime, or in the meantime. Now, if I do get rained out on a Walking with Purpose stream, they did go on the observation deck, so it was good for me to head on down. If I do get rained out from a Walking with Purpose stream, then I will probably do an in-studio stream that day on this channel, but that's probably the only time you're going to get an in-studio live stream from this channel, at least for a while. I'm going to be more so focusing on creating pre-recorded videos elsewhere. They will not be on this channel. And I'm still in progress of putting that together. And that content should be coming out soon. And there are many reasons why I decided to do this. If you want to find out more, go back and check out my past 2 or 3 streams, the walking streams, and you'll find out. I'm not going to repeat it. You can go back and watch the former streams. And give me a view and a like while you're there. I'd appreciate it. So, let me get to the video that I saw on Tim Pool's channel. And like I said, Tim Pool's an American journalist. He's in his mid-30s. He's a millennial. Used to be more on the left, but has more switched over to the right. I think he switched over to the right because he's noticing that the conservatives, or at least people that I call the alt-right, are more active on social media. People on social media, the active people on social media, most of them are in alignment with more conservative views or alt-right views, right? And that's why Tim Pool, I feel, has switched his content, to a more conservative type of show than his show that used to be more liberal. Let's see here. Man, those people are walking very, very fast. Literally. I've been walking at a normal pace. They were on the observation deck, and they caught up to me. They're walking very fast. When I take a walk, I love to enjoy the scenery, and I'll walk at more of a leisurely pace. But that's just me. Everybody's different. So, Tim put out a clip from his show, and the title was "Modern Women," or something to that extent. Modern women are choosing more men, more feminist men as dating partners. So, I'll say that one more time. Modern women are choosing more men that are feminist men that support the feminist agenda as partners, right? And in my opinion, it's creating one big shit show because, number one, there's not a man on the planet that's going to be against women having equal rights. Okay? The problem is not the equal rights. The problem is radical feminism. And it's the special privileges that women now have because of their equal rights, or it's the special privileges that these women seek and get, right? They play the system, right? Some of the things, for example, purposes are, even if you're in the corporate world and you're walking in the hallway and you accidentally brush up against a woman's breast, right? By accident, right? You say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry." And she goes to human resources and says, "Well, Jimmy rubbed up against my breasts in the hallway, and I don't tolerate that." Jimmy will get called into the office and more than likely will be suspended without pay for 3 days, and then he'll be fired. I'm not saying that will happen in all cases, but in most cases, that's what happens. That is radical feminism right there. That is not feminism. That was not the purpose of women getting equal rights, right? So these women that are seeking guys that are, feminist men, in essence, what they're seeking is guys that put women on a pedestal, guys that support women having special privileges and everything above and beyond what feminism, the women's movement, and women's lib was meant to be, right? I remember the last woman I dated, she said that her father was a feminist. And she, at that point, was living in Berkeley. And her father was living in Berkeley, too. And I said, "Your father is a feminist? Like, what do you mean?" "Well, he's all for women's rights and this and that," right? "Well, I'm all for women having equal rights and all that, too," I told her. I said, "I'm happy I told her, babe, I'm happy at that time when we were seeing each other. Babe, I'm happy that you have equal rights and you can do everything I can do. That's not the problem. It's not feminism that's the problem. It's radical feminism, right? And part of the problem is you have women nowadays that are seeking men that are feminists, and they're going out there, and women are flexing their muscles and saying, I am woman, hear me roar. I want to be with a man that's a feminist, right? And quite honestly, for a real traditional old school type of man like myself, a real man like myself, that completely repels me and turns me off. Because it is not feminine energy for women to flex their muscles. It's masculine energy. Any way you look at it, right? But granted, even if women are doing some jobs that were once only meant as jobs for men, no problem. Go to work, do your job, and you may have to exude a little more masculine energy, but when you come home to me, if you're behaving more masculine than feminine, that's going to annoy me, and I'm going to dump you. And I'm going to go and find a woman that's more feminine and in her natural essence. That's where the problem is at, right? I've never, ever met any woman, and I've been using primarily online dating for the last 15, 20 years, because that's where it's at, right? I've never met any woman that flexed her muscles about her liberty or feminism or anything like that. See, that's where the issue is at, right? And because I'm a happy person, I'm a happy guy, I don't let, or back in the days when I was looking for somebody, I didn't let those women affect me. I didn't let them ruin my day, right? Because the truth of the matter is there were one or two other women waiting in the queue, right? If you as a guy put yourself out on a dating site or dating app, and you message enough people, right? And you have a good profile written and with nice, good, high quality, clear pictures, right? You're going to have more than one option, right? If one of those options is a woman that's trying to flex her muscles about being liberated and, being a feminist and this and that, you don't have to give her the time of day. You can just say, hey, okay, well, it was nice knowing you. Well, you don't want to talk anymore? I'm not really enjoying the conversation. Well, why not? Because I want to get to know you. I don't want to sit here and talk about how women were liberated and all that, right? I don't want to sit here and listen to you flexing your muscles onto me. Well, do you not respect a strong, independent woman? When I hear a woman say that, I'm out. Peace out. Any profiles in the past that said I'm a strong, independent woman, I'm a working woman, I'm a career woman, this and that, I will stay away from them. Why? Because the truth of the matter is that men don't really give a shit about that. We respect women that work, and we respect you women having equal rights. But when it comes to dating us, we don't care about your work, at least initially. We don't care about anything else besides your personality and what you look like. That's it. First, it's, are we physically attracted to you? Are you physically attracted to us? And next, what's your personality like, right? Are you a happy person, right? Because a happy person, or even a happy woman, is not going to feel the need to flex her liberty. She's going to know she already has her liberty, and she's not going to feel the need to flex it on the man she wants to be with. And here's the thing, women that keep doing that will never find happiness. Why? Because they're going to repel the men that they're attracted to, like me, because we're not going to put up with it. And the guys they do give a chance to, that put up with that, are going to be the thirsty beta males that they're going to end up falling out of love with and not respecting because they're not manly enough, because they're being conformists. They're conforming too much to what the woman wants and not being themselves. That's the truth of the matter. Guys and gals, here's the thing. Your happiness should come from no other place than deep within. Nothing else matters. Okay? Forget about the equal rights and all that stuff, right? We all have the equal rights, and that's all great, right? But as men and women, let's forget everything else. Let's forget everything else. And when you can clear everything else away and really think about where happiness stems from, you'll understand what I'm saying. For the most part of my life, I've only hung around with happy, positive people. Now, have I been around some negative people? Sure. But I had to figure out what negative people were like before I could stop hanging around them. So or at some point I did hang out with negative people, right? But now I'm at the point in my life where I can clearly see negativity 10 miles away. And I avoid it at all costs. And I only want to surround myself with happy, positive people. And how do you know if someone's truly happy? I'll keep saying it again like a broken record. When they're happy deep within. Someone that's happy deep within is going to be laid back, easy to get along with. They're not going to be overly picky. They're not going to be snarky. They're going to be just a really cool, down-to-earth, and easygoing person, right? And those are the types of people that I focus my energy on. If that's not you, and I notice you trying to bring any little bit of drama in my life, you're gone. You're out. Peace out. I don't have the time or energy for that. What a nice day today. I got to tell you. What a difference a day makes. I had one day in between, day before yesterday and today, where it was just really muggy and cloudy out here. And it did start to rain, but I mean, look at the difference. American Dream, if you're out there, I know you kind of pop in from time to time. I timed you out by mistake at the end of the show yesterday, bro. I apologize for that. I was cleaning my screen when I got in the car because it was a little bit wet from the rain. And it must have tapped your name and then tapped, put user in timeout. I accidentally timed you out, American Dream Mike. Folks, please get those thumbs up. I know Queen and Dion were both here. And I'm sure both of you, at least I think you both like me enough to thumb the stream up. There's just one thumb up. I'd appreciate it. What the heck are you doing timing out Dreamfort? Did you just hear my explanation, Queen, or do I need to say it again? I was cleaning my phone at the end of my stream yesterday because it was raining towards the end of my stream. I was out here on the same trail and I went into my car and I couldn't see the screen. I am here, okay. I was cleaning my screen with a terry cloth and some monster cleaner, screen cleaner. And it must have tapped over Dream's name and then put user in timeout as I was rubbing the screen. But I apologized to him. I think he was still around after he got timed out by mistake. Wow, that plane is just shaking its wings. Beautiful. Probably going to go to the other side today. Weather is nice. I'm not really in any hurry. I took care of the other business aspects I had going on in the morning. And I'm just relaxing on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Oh, to update you folks, I'm going to be going away tomorrow night instead of tonight. I'll be around later tonight if anyone wants to reach out to me. And I'll probably do a walking stream early in the morning tomorrow, probably around 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And then I'm going to be heading out to spend time with the lady. And probably going to get a room somewhere and then spend most of the next day, Wednesday, together. We haven't had a lot of time to spend together lately. We do live about an hour away from each other, so you know, it's not easy. And plus, she works in retail management. It's not even the distance that's the issue. And there is no issue, ma'am. I'm just stating the facts here. And I think you understand what I'm saying. It's the fact that she's in retail management and she has a different schedule each week. And ma'am, you're going to come back and say, just let me know, I'll request some time off. I'm like, ma'am, it's still retail. I'm not holding it against you. It doesn't change anything. I'm just saying it makes it a little more challenging. And I'm okay with that because, look, if we go sometimes a week or two without seeing each other, we talk every night, or we'll get together for a dinner or something, no problem. It'll give me more time to focus on my purpose. All right? And you can focus on your purpose too, right? As long as you know. That's interesting. Let's see. Here's a plane coming. Just give me a second. I'm going to take in some of the fresh air. Lots of planes flying in right now. This is pretty cool. That plane has slowed down compared to the other planes. Oh, what a beautiful shot. That plane is going so slow that it's just giving me a beautiful shot to show you here, folks. Wow. Amazing. Going back to the topic, folks, I want to do whatever I can to motivate as many people as possible to truly start believing in themselves and to truly learn where happiness stems from. It'll change your life. Again, like I said at the beginning of the stream, you may think it sounds stupid, right? You may think a lot of the things I say sound stupid, and maybe it's boring. Maybe it is boring, right? I try to make it as entertaining as possible. But a lot of this stuff is not entertaining, but it's the truth. It's what we need to learn to better ourselves, right? And who doesn't want to better themselves, right? Who doesn't want to better themselves? Everything I do each and every day is an attempt to better myself. If I can just move even half a step or one step forward every day, just a little bit, right? Coach Corey Wayne says this: you try to get just a little better each and every day. You're going to eventually find what works for you. It's going to turn your life around. I'll tell you this, folks. Well, before I do that, let me try and get this plane here. That just came right over me. That's a cool shot. Wow. Lots of planes flying in right now. It's the end of the work day. That's why. Maybe they're coming from Central California or Southern California. That's just amazing. I love being out here. I love it. We are at 1 hour and 12 minutes. So yeah, you just try to get a little better each and every day. Baby steps, right? You're going to eventually get there. And folks, don't look at your failures as failures. Look at your failures as learning opportunities. Your failures are learning opportunities on your way to success. How else are you going to learn what not to do so you can focus more on what to do, right? And you know, I've never come out here and preached that I'm better than anyone or that I haven't made mistakes. I've made a ton of mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. We're all human. We all screw up, and we're going to continue screwing up at times, right? But it's how we channel that energy when we make those mistakes. Do we sit there and get upset? Like, I've even done it before myself. Damn it, right? You say, damn it, right? You pound the table, right? I used to do that. Even on YouTube, on live streams, I used to let that get to me, folks. I used to let a lot of things. I used to let everything get to me, right? And that right there kills any forward progress. It sets you way back, right? In addition, you hurt your hand, and if you hit it as hard as I do, you practically almost break your hand, right? Or sprain it or something. But then you're also more stressed out. Your blood pressure is elevated, right? It's very unhealthy. It takes a toll on your health, right? And I want to help as many people not go through what I went through the past couple of years with this pinched nerve, herniated disc, sciatica, etc. One of the best ways to avoid all that is to not stress yourself out. Keep it positive no matter what happens. Don't get triggered. Don't get annoyed. I know it's not always possible, but do the best you can to maintain a positive outlook on everything. Let's continue moving forward. Such a beautiful path on the other side. I don't know what they're going to do there or when it's going to be finally done. Please keep off construction access route. It is not to be used as a biking, walking trail. Please use pedestrian trail for your safety. That might just be an access road. Might be an emergency access road. Who knows? I thought it's where they're going to be diverting the SF Bay Trail, but it may just be an emergency access road that bypasses the freeway. We'll see. I'm getting more retweets for my tweet. Wow, Queen. Regarding that tweet that you put out regarding YouTube is getting sued by Germany for deleting COVID videos or certain COVID videos. That's interesting. You know, like I said in the Coach Eli private moderator chat we have going on Facebook with the moderators, YouTube does make mistakes, and they admit that, and they, for the most part, correct the mistakes, the honest mistakes they make. But there are also a lot of people that are violating the guidelines and spreading misinformation, and they deserve to be removed. I think for the most part, YouTube's done a good job. I mean, have they made some bad decisions, bad calls every now and then? Sure, Queen. And maybe that's happened to you. Possibly, right? But I think for the volume that they're dealing with and the nature of the beast, I think they're doing the best they can with what they've got. They've gotten a lot better than they used to be, I'll tell you that. I will tell you, this platform, ever since they switched over to the new studio, which most of us were like, oh, we don't want to switch from the new studio or from the old studio. What they used to call, you used to call it, what was it, Video Manager, I think it was? It was called Video Manager. Or it was called like Creator Studio or something like that, right? So it was called Creator Studio. So it was called Creator Studio. Now it's just called Studio. This new studio is more robust. It's more, graphic friendly. They're able to share much more detail when you get a strike or, something happens, right? Your dashboard has information on what's happening at YouTube and new features and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome what they've done to the platform. But do they always get it right? No. So I'm not quite sure what Germany is suing, but maybe they think that all COVID videos should be left up. Saying, okay, it's just our opinion, right? Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to stay out of that one, Queen. I don't, how do I say it's the right way? I'm all for vaccinating people unless there's a good medical reason a doctor gives you to not get vaccinated, such as it will do more damage for you than help you. And, you know, that's up to a doctor's discretion, right? Let me just let this dude pass on by. Beautiful sun. I know the views are climbing, says Queen. All right, cool. Congratulations on that, Queen. I mean, to be honest, quite frankly, you know, whether I like certain types of content or not on YouTube, you know, I can just ignore what I don't want to see, right? The only content that I'm all for that needs to get removed. Number one, bullying and harassment, that's not a good thing. But that's subjective to what YouTube thinks is bullying and harassment. And having a beef with somebody on a live stream panel, they don't usually consider that cyberbullying and harassment, right? But spreading misinformation that could harm people in their lives, those are things that I'm all for being removed. If something that somebody does or says in a video that could harm other people, harm other people's lives, which is what I'm trying to say, I'm all for that getting removed, or even that channel getting terminated. But for the most part, you know, Queen, look, I'm all for freedom of speech. I'm all for freedom of speech. I just think some people take it a bit too far. I think some people are just very unstable mentally and emotionally. And they just come out on a platform like YouTube and just project a bunch of crap. And then when they get removed, they get triggered that they got removed unlawfully, right? I just ignore that stuff. I just, whatever. I do my thing. I follow the rules. All that matters is how I show up, right? That's another thing I want to share with you folks, right? What really matters the most in your life regarding any aspect of your life is how you show up. How you show up matters the most for yourself. It's not about the other people, it's about how you show up, right? Now, your association with other people can affect your reputation. It can, right? But what affects your reputation the most and people's perception of you is how you show up as an individual, no matter what. Just a beautiful day. Been walking like 4 miles a day. Yesterday I only did about 3. Today I'm going to do the other side because it's not raining. And I'm going to go home and relax. I was thinking about maybe starting to create some pre-recorded videos for the other platform that I'm going to be putting my pre-recorded videos on. But I'm not going to start doing that probably until Thursday. I'll be out pretty late on Wednesday, like I said, hanging out with this lady, with the lady. I'm not used to being with someone, you know, so part of my verbiage when I'm out on the trail, you know, I've got a lot on my mind. I'm looking around, and I didn't mention this earlier, but I saw a couple sketch people on the trail, and you just got to be aware of your surroundings, folks. Got to be aware of your surroundings. Give me a second. I'm coming up to somebody else here. All right. I'm going to go to the other side. Going to go a little bit more today. Going to do the full 4 miles. So yeah, I'll be back probably to start those pre-recorded videos on either Wednesday night. If I'm not too tired, I probably will be. So I'll start it on Thursday. And again, I'm going to be more so doing these walking streams earlier in the morning. Ideally, I'd like to do them at like, 9:30 or 10 Pacific, which is 12:30, 9:30 or 10 a.m. Pacific, which is 12:30 or 1 p.m. Eastern, because I want to be able to come back and record 4 or 5 20 to 30 minute pre-recorded videos, create a backlog, and really start cranking out this pre-recorded content I was going to put on this YouTube channel, but like I said, I'm moving it elsewhere. And again, I will update you folks in due time when that's all set. In the meantime, enjoy the live streams here from mobile. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Halloween's right around the corner. I'm not a big Halloween fan at this age. I've kind of outgrown Halloween. The last time I did something for Halloween was 3 ex-girlfriends ago. In my early 40s, I went to this haunted house in the East Bay that's run inside somebody's house every year. It's a free haunted house, and the lines are crazy. And they have it like running, I guess, the week before Halloween and a few days afterwards. It was cool, but I think I've gotten to the point at age 47, almost 48, that I've outgrown Halloween. You know, and it's at this point you start to realize in your life that you've grown up and you just want to chill. Like this is the attitude that I have right now, folks. At this point in my life, in my late 40s, is I just want to enjoy every day. I want to chill. I want to relax. Yes, I still want to work and do what I'm doing, but I just want to live a stress-free, drama-free, and peaceful life. That's what I want. And any woman that's going to come along on that ride is going to have the same fucking attitude. That includes you, ma'am. I know you're listening. She's going to have that same attitude. Laid back, easy to get along with, easygoing, understanding, right? Peaceful, right? A lot of people have asked me lately behind the scenes, and people have emailed me. I'll mention this as I keep going. You know, Eli, there are still people making videos on you, and people still coming at you whether you realize it or not. And I'm like, I don't go out there looking for it anymore. I'm sure they're doing it, and every now and then people that care about me will tell me, and I tell them I just don't care. It just doesn't matter. They're like, how do you just not let it get to you? How did you just turn it around and don't let it bother you? It's plain and simple. I made a choice to not let it bother me. I made a choice to ignore it. I made a choice to be happy no matter what happens. And that's part of this stream here today. I'm trying to get the same thing through to you folks out there and say that you can choose to be happy. You can either choose to let things get to you and bother you and derail you, or choose to be happy no matter what happens. Even if things don't go your way, stay calm. And you'll figure out how to turn it around. Because like I said earlier on the show, if you lose your shit, if you're unhappy, if you come off your happy center, like for a man, being centered is happiness, right? When a man is off his center, he's not attractive to any woman, right? What are women attracted to? They're attracted to a man that's centered in his center. He's centered in his masculinity, right? And part of masculinity is being happy with who you are, what you see in the mirror, and how you feel. What you see in the mirror and how you feel deep within, which is what I'm trying to say. And no matter what happens, you let nobody derail you off your center. That includes not only women, but other weak, pathetic, immature, insecure, mentally and emotionally unstable men that are projecting their insecurities onto you because they wish they could be as strong as you are and centered as you are, right? It's a choice. And I've made that choice. And let me tell you, there are lots of people that have been through what I've been through on YouTube and other aspects of life that would have given up, especially after what they've been through, or especially if they went through what I went through on YouTube, they would have left, or maybe worse. I don't wish that harm upon anyone, but there are people that would have done that, right? And have done that. You can choose to not let shit bother you. You can choose to be happy all the time no matter what. You can choose to ignore things. Tune them out. I've gotten so good at tuning things out that sometimes You know, it's even hard for me to focus on certain things that I should be focusing on because I'm just so used to tuning lots of things out because that's how much I've been through. I've had to tune so much out that at times I'll even tune out things that I should be paying attention to. That's one thing I'm working on getting better at. That little ducky over there, let me go take a look. Oh, there, it went in the water. That may be an egret. It's all white. Look at that bird go. Just, it's amazing. The wetlands. Just amazing. This must have been, I'll say, man-made. Can I even say that nowadays? Man-made? Without getting scolded? All these rocks are just man-made here. It's beautiful, though. I wouldn't walk on them. They're probably not stable, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Where am I moving it to, Queen? Well, I haven't fully decided yet. I've got 2 or 3 different places where I will be moving it to. But I will be sure to let everyone know, or at least let the moderators know first behind the scenes when that happens. I'm doing some testing elsewhere. I kind of I want to have like a fresh start in a totally different environment, which is why I'm moving this content. And like I said, I've been saying the past few days, now that lady came down off the observation deck, let me go up here and hang out a few minutes, then head back and wrap things up. Oh, yeah. Ooh, look at all those birds there in the pack. Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Wow, it's beautiful. They're getting closer over here. Can you see those birds, Queen, in that pack? Are they coming to the shore? Wow. Yeah, they just went to the shore there. And there's one lone, is that a duck? I think it's a duck. It's waddling. That's got to be a duck. Maybe they're all. Oh, there they go. They're taking off again. Wow. Hard to tell. Yeah. Well, they're kind of small, and I can't zoom in on this, Queen, because of the app. So, anyway. Folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're gonna be going off the air in about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna start going down because there's somebody else coming, and they're probably gonna come up to the observation deck. Let me go over here. When I don't say a word, you can hear the nature sounds. It's pretty incredible. Okay, she's going to the observation deck, so good thing. That I had enough time up there anyway. This woman's coming with a baby and she's on the cell phone. She's talking on the Bluetooth. It's all good. The birth rate, I can't even talk, the birth rate has declined so much. You're seeing far fewer women with strollers. Women are just not having kids. Far fewer women are getting married. A lot of women are heading into their late 30s, early 40s, single, never been married, no kids. Great job, very sexy. Have everything else going for them. But they're still Chad chasing. They're chasing Chad. Some of those women will chase Chad till the day they die. They're going to end up dying alone. I'd rather not die alone. If up to me. Hey, if it was meant for me to die alone, then hey, it's a different story. But, you know, I'm not out there trying to chase the female version of Chad. Well, what do we even call the female version of Chad? Does that even exist? Does it even matter? How did they ever come up with the name Chad for the fictional stud that every woman is going for? Chad chasing. These women that are actually chasing the Chads, when you call them Chad chasers, they get super triggered. They get super triggered because it's the truth, right? The truth hurts, right? Chad chasers. Chad Chasers Anonymous. Ladies, I can help you. I can help you ladies better understand what's really going on. And why you chase Chad and why it's never going to work. Got your standards set way too high because the betas overly inflate your value. There's a lot of work we need to do to get things back on track between men and women. But it more so has to do with the way men are showing up. I've said that before, I'll say it again. It's more the fault of men than women. Because guys, you're the guys that are overly inflating every woman's value. I mean, how in the world can women have more value to the strongest men if, a group of men don't value or overly value them, right? What's going to make women feel like they're extremely overly valuable more than they normally are is you guys overly validating them. That's what's happening. By doing that, not only do you not get a chance with them ever, you ruin it for the rest of us, decent, average, everyday, decent-looking guys, like the middle-of-the-road type of guys, like the 7s and 8s, right? The 6s, 7s, and 8s, right? Now, if you're a guy, if you're like even a 7 or an 8, you don't get a chance with many women. Even if you're a 9, you don't get a chance with many women because of the overinflation of their value by the beta males. Wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna wait for this woman to pass on by. She's hauling ass. Wow, the plane went right by the sun. Yeah, like I said, these women, they walk extremely fast. It's like they can't wait to get the walkover. Like, I like to enjoy nature. Walk more at a leisurely pace and really enjoy it. Even when I'm not on the air and I'm walking, when I used to do these walks with the women I used to date, man, they would get a little bit ahead of me. I had to start going faster just to keep up. Just enjoy the walk, chill out. We're in no hurry. All right, folks. Get your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. Going to be going off the air in about 5 minutes or so. We're almost at the bridge to exit. I appreciate those that were here watching live, whether you were chatting or not. Yeah, tomorrow I will probably be doing the show at about, the Walking with Purpose stream at about 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Because I'm going to be going out tomorrow night, out of town, and then coming back on Wednesday, probably in the early evening. Somebody's coming into the trail. Lots of people just coming in at random times today. That's good. It's nice to see people coming out and getting their exercise. If anybody needs to talk a little bit later tonight or early in the morning tomorrow, Dion or anybody else, feel free to reach out to me either by email or if you're connected with me privately behind the scenes through Facebook. I no longer use Google Hangouts, which is now known as Google Chat. So anyone connected with me out there, I haven't closed down those accounts. Obviously, I use them for different Google aspects like YouTube channels, but I just don't notifications going on my phone, or I don't go and log in to those aspects on my laptop. So you're gonna have to email me or try to send me a messenger request on Facebook. We do not have to be friends on Facebook to use Messenger. I'm willing to connect with anyone on Messenger that wants to actually connect. But I will only become Facebook friends with people that I trust. I've gotten to know for a while because if not, people do crazy things. They take your Facebook and they make content out of it on YouTube. It's one of the things that the trolls and haters did to me. I used to have everything public. And then I put things to friends only. And some of the people that I'd connected with on Facebook from YouTube, they flipped on me without even telling me. And they were giving information to these trolls and haters that were making content on me. That's how pathetic this whole thing got. I'm only sharing that because a lot of you people that are following me now, they don't know that. And it was one hell of a story. It's so pathetic. But you know what? It was my fault for allowing what they were doing to get to me. I should have just embraced it and said, hey, that's me. Okay. But now I know better. Right now I don't care. I still try to protect my privacy as much as possible from these people. But the thing is this. I just don't put anything public or even to friends only that I wouldn't want the whole world to see. So even if you're Facebook friends with me, I put a lot of things to only me, which is private. No one can see it, even if you're friends. And that's what I had to do, folks. Because of the insanity of some people on the internet, especially the YouTube platform. They will literally make content out of every little thing. And they made content out of every little thing I had done my entire life that I put on Facebook for the last 10 plus years. But anyway, I'm going to get on out of here, folks. We are at, if they don't like it, tough bananas. Hard to tell. Oh, you were talking about the birds earlier. If they don't like it, tough bananas. You're right, Queen. But thank you to everyone for being here. We are at 1 hour and 52 minutes. All right, folks. I'll be back tomorrow for a walking stream before I head out. It's probably going to be around 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Have yourselves a great night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace out. Be good to each other.